Now I'm looking to find a route across for my fuel supply line. It looks like right here behind the cross member that sits below the engine can work. Yes, I'm going to do a few lines. Hey, not the powdered kind, okay. My reality has always been exciting enough. I've never needed that. I'm talking about fuel lines and brake lines and oil lines, that kind of thing. In my infinite wisdom, I installed the fuel line coming from the tanks in the back here on this side of the frame. But the fuel pump and the carb inlet sits here on this side. Now I've got to bring that fuel line across and then up here. Yes, Duffy, very clever. You should have run that fuel line here on this side of the frame. I think this is going to do. It's well protected from road debris here behind the cross member and securely fastened in place, so it can't go anywhere. It comes up onto the top of the frame and then on towards the fuel tanks in the back. Another secure fastening right here. I make these P-clips myself from a strip of aluminium. I cut me some strips of aluminium to the width that I want. Then I bend them around something with the diameter I want. Then in the vise to squeeze it nice and tight, like that. And then I back off the vise just a little bit and I tap this across like that to get the offset, if I can call it that. Yes, there you have it. Drill a hole for the fastener. I use the drill bit as the former. It's an easy way to get the exact diameter you want. So now I've just got to cut this to length, make it pretty, and I can remove the protective covering. I leave it on the drill bit, then I've got something to hold onto while I make it pretty. The fruits of my labor. A batch of homemade P-clips, and I even got a protective lining. I scratched out a suitable piece of rubber tubing here from my box with offcuts of such like things, because I throw nothing away and there is probably some pieces in here dating back to the previous century. I find me some tubing that's a snug fit over my hard line, and I make my clip to suit this diameter. Cut a piece of the pipe and insert it in my clip, like I've done right there. Some of these are for my fuel line, some of them for my 3/16 brake line. And if you make them in batches, it only takes a few minutes each to make these. Yeah, I suppose it would just be an idiot like me who would make such stupid little things. I'm sure most would just go out there and find a shop that sells those things. But then I suppose it's only an idiot like me that would rather be in his happy place, because I hate shopping, and for that matter the whole consumer madness as well. If you are a regular visitor here, you will remember about the flood damage to my roads from those storms a few weeks ago. Well, it's slowly drying out, and every day I've been commuting between my house and the shop with my baby TLB. I would scratch at the road until I get bored with it, and then go up to the shop to go and do something on the Hudson. And when I say scratch, I mean try to repair the road to get it more drivable for a normal car. It's actually almost like fighting against thunder with my little toy machine. But you know what? Many tiny bites will eventually also get the elephant eaten. The secret sauce is persistence. A little bit every day until it's done. Wish me luck. Like with so many other things, I always used to wonder why somebody doesn't do something about it. Until I realized I am somebody. And in this case, probably the only somebody. In theory, this is a public road. Well, that means nothing. The powers that be at our local municipality have absolutely no interest in fixing this minor road. They've actually done nothing to it in over 20 years. But that's okay. It keeps out the men in suits, which is just fine with me. I will just fix it a little bit for the benefit of myself and a few others. Got my facet electric fuel pump mounted right here. I'm not entirely happy about this location, but I just can't find any other place to mount it. There's no space in the back, so this will have to do. One of my concerns was damage from road debris and mud and what have you, so I made this little aluminum cover to give it some protection. Now I feel a little bit better. And then I've also got it mounted on some rubber, a bit of rubber sheeting down in the bottom there, just for the sake of possible vibrations that gets transmitted. Yeah, for what it's worth. Fuel line runs from the front, underneath the cap, and currently stops right here. At this point I have to tee it to go to my 2 fuel tanks, but they still look like this. So I want to sandblast and paint them, then I can get them installed, and then I can finish off the rest and the final parts of my fuel line system. But this area where I normally sandblast is still a total mess from the recent floods. So blasting those tanks ain't gonna happen now. I need to wait for this to dry out. I'm gonna keep on messing with the plumbing. Yes! It is the last P-clip on this brake line. I've got a brand spanking new master cylinder fitted, and all my brake lines are now basically done. There's the line for the front brakes going down, and then it tees off to left and right. Left front wheel line securely in place, no chance of chafe, because brakes is not something that you do a half-ass job on. I've got new flexible hoses in here as well. So yes, all my brake components are new. A little busy here on this side, but there you can see the front right wheel brake line. This one of course is the fuel line coming from the back. I made up some new brake lines for the back as well. Just looking at this now, I think I need another little support bracket right here. This is a little bit too movie for me. I make up these double flares on the brake lines myself, and for years I've used this kit to do it with, and it's always been a frustrating struggle. If you've used this setup, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But now Diffie has also finally got one of these amazing brake line flaring tools. Now I'm sure many of you guys know this thing, but let me tell you, the first time I used it, I thought, what kind of sorcery is this? This thing is magic. It's quick, and it makes those double flares perfect every time. There must be lots of videos about this thing, but a quick overview. Here you've got a bunch of different settings or operations, depending on what you want to achieve. But the first step is the yellow one, OP0. You've got these dies. You select the dies to suit your pipe diameter. You put your brake line in like that. The other die on top of it. Next step is you just put this over and tighten it lightly. Then you pull on the handle here just to set everything up correctly. And once you've got that setting, you just tighten this up fully so that the brake line can't move. Next, you rotate your dies. My pipe is 3/16, so I'm going there for OP1, operation 1 for 3/16 pipe. Got that set. Now I simply pull on the handle to make the first flare. Once that is done, I rotate and go to operation 2 for 3/16 pipe, OP2. Just that one right there. Get it lined up. And repeat. And that's it. Let's take out the pipe and see what it looks like. Let's undo this. You pull this knob. Can you see? Done perfectly. Look at that. Doesn't get any better than this. And so quick. Just remember to put this nut on, or whatever you call it, before you do the flare. Because sometimes you can't slide it in from the other side. And then if you haven't got it in place, yeah, well, then you got to cut this off and do it again. Ask me, I know. Done it. Been there many times. These two lines are for my transmission oil cooler, so they obviously go back towards the transmission. And you can see I've got them securely fastened in place as well with my homemade P-clips. So that's done. Hey, we're making progress. Radiator is in place. Electric fan. Transmission oil cooler. Yes. All those little things that you don't see in the end. But unlike others, we build cars that drive in the end, and we always show you footage of us driving them and using them. So this stuff is important. There is much debate about the orientation of these inlet and outlet fittings. Some guys say they should be on the top, otherwise you get air pockets. Some guys says they should be on the side. Well, for starters, side is not an option for me. That Hudson grill is such a tight fit around here. There's no way I can get the oil lines to go around the edge of the radiator there. As for orientating these guys downwards versus upwards, here's my counter argument. Number one, if you have these inlets and outlets sitting on the top, well, for starters, you'll never be able to drain all the oil out of this whole transcooler if you do an oil change. This way, it will, because the oil can actually drain out of it, because obviously we've got the fittings in the bottom. Number two, if this inlet outlet sits on the top, well, you still have the possibility of an air pocket there and there. I don't know. I'm not sold on the air pocket thing. In fact, I've seen many OEM installs with these inlet outlets on the bottom. And then lastly, if it really bothers you, I mean, what prevents us from taking it off, lying it flat, and then filling it with oil, running the engine, getting the oil to go through it, and then installing it back up into place. So yes, in my case, running the oil lines in from the top is a logistical nightmare. I'm going to try it like this. Like I said, I'm not sold on the air pocket thing. And then we can evaluate down the line, and if need be, we can change the setup. But I don't think it will be necessary. And that's it for this round. I've still got a lot of road fixing and tree cutting to do. And in between all of it, some of you might remember that house I'm building. Well, I'm still trying to do a bit of work there. So my plate is very full. But yeah, we got a few small things done, important things. Maybe from a visual perspective and a wow perspective, not a big deal. But we are making progress. If you can dream it, you can do it. So keep the dream alive and ignore all the white noise out there. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Have a lekker one, my brothers.